Welcome back, and first of all, if you celebrate, Merry Christmas. If not, whatever you celebrate, happy holiday of whatever that may be. And if you don't celebrate everything, I hope you're having a good day. But what we are here today to do is talk about Sun Wukong and Ares. This is not going to be a should you summon video. I feel like I should probably put that out Thursday. I'll try and get that recorded on Christmas. This is, spoiler alert, the day before Christmas at time of recording. But we're going to be talking about Sun Wukong, his design, his skills, all that good stuff, as well as Ares and the same stuff with him. So we'll start out with Sun Wukong, and we will talk about how he looks. First of all, he looks pretty badass. He's a pretty cool looking character. They definitely did him justice. His video is very nice. In fact, we're going to play that right here. It's not going to have any sound on it because, copyright, all that BS, and I would have to turn my sound on for the game also. It does have a pretty cool sound to it, though. He does have a few voice lines that are very witty and whatnot in-game, but Prospector released a video with some of that stuff on there. So there is that. We then get some close-ups of his weapon, of his staff there. Yeah, so he is a pretty cool looking unit, and he's releasing with his skin immediately, and his skin is going to be free login reward. Now, I've seen very split reactions with this skin. Some people have said that they don't like it. Some people say that they love it. To be completely honest, I like it. It kind of gives off the like a Super Saiyan vibe. One, Dragon Ball Z, when I was growing up, that was big. So there's that with the hair and whatnot. But he also looks very feral and whatnot. He and honestly, the staff here kind of reminds me a little bit of Naruto. The staff that the third Hokage, I think, had, and also ended up transforming into a monkey, which I'm imagining was modeled after Sun Wukong. A form of Sun Wukong, I will say. But yeah, so very cool looking character. He's got a lot going for him, and he is going to be very powerful. So I forgot to mention this in the video, but he is Watcher and Nightmare faction, so he's dual faction. So we will talk about his skills now. We'll start off with his talent, because his talent is pretty essential to the way he works and essential to his power at the very least. So every third basic attack, he summons one Sage clone within the ultimate's range, and up to 3 Sage clones can exist simultaneously, so he can only have up to 3. He gains 1 stack of Undaunted Might every 30 seconds, up to 5 stacks, and we'll go over this real quick. Undaunted Might is a increase of damage dealt to elites or bosses by 1%. This goes up to 5%. It does get a little bit more powerful with Awakenings, but at this level, it's like, okay, cool, extra 5%. Big whoop, right? So, if summoning Sage clones is not possible, or there are already 3 clones the third attack will instead increase the hero's attack by 20% for 15 seconds. That is huge for him. I believe this will happen. Yeah, if there are already 3 clones. Yeah, so he can have 3 clones and still do this. That is big for him. Now, let's go over a little bit more on this. His Sage clones, they last for 20 seconds. That's a little... It could be better. I mean, but 20 seconds is a long time in a fight, and that gives them plenty of time to build this back up. Now, these Sage clones, they inherit 100% of his attributes. That means they are just as strong as he is, and each basic attack deals 40% damage to one adjacent enemy. So they are single target attacks, or single target units that do 40% of his basic damage. That is very strong. When he has 3 of them, that's, 120% extra damage that he is giving out. He's not even doing. He's just allowing them to do for him. That's not taking up time for his ult or anything like that. So, the downside of this is the 20 seconds, and they take 50% more damage than he would. I don't believe they can receive healing either. So, good and bad. The not receiving healing isn't that big of a deal because he could just create more, and you don't really want them to take the healing from the units that need it, right? And with them taking 50% more damage, it is a good possibility that they're going to die. He is pretty tanky. We'll talk about his base stats here in a second. But yeah, it could be... He doesn't necessarily... He's not the tankiest unit in the world. He's a pretty tanky fighter, though. But taking 50% more damage, they will die, especially in later stages of Simra, which, spoiler alert, is where he excels the most in damage. And he does help in the stun phase, but that's not until later on. It's not at base awakenings that he really helps there. So, his basic attack, 100% damage to one enemy, books up to 120%. Solid. Good damage. That's all you need. He has a 2-tile range, which is great. Ooh, I just thought about something. Him and Anora have a really good synergy. I might have to try that out. Sorry, just pops into my head. I don't know why this made me think of it, but she increases the power of summons, and his Sage clones are summons. So that is, yeah, summons one Sage clone. So that's pretty cool. So his ultimate, we'll come back to his ultimate because there's a caveat with that. So his passive number 1, Golden Cruel Strike. Golden Crudgel Strike. Sure. Basic attack has a 25% chance to do 200% damage and inflict stun. If there's an enemy immune to stun when it is triggered, it instead deals 150% extra damage one time. I don't know if that's on top of the 200%. The 150 takes place of the stun, or if this 150 just takes its place instead, right? I don't know exactly how that works. I'm guessing it deals it on top of this. So this is an extra 50%, so this goes up to 250 and 200, going up to 450% extra damage on a 25% chance. That is solid. This is where he's going to really help, and whereas this 25% chance doesn't seem like a whole lot, with his awakenings, that's where it really helps, and we'll get to that. But it's a very strong move in general, just extra damage. It's great. So, Golden Glare, his other passive. When the hero triggers Golden Crudgel Strike, he gains 1 stack of Sunder. The ultimate consumes full stacks of Sunder, enabling the hero to ignore 60% of the target's defense for 10 seconds. And this goes up to 15 seconds when skilled up. Sunder can stack up to 5 times using the ultimate at full stacks, consumes all Sunder stacks. This is worded a little bit weird. I'm not entirely sure exactly how this works. Does he only get the ignore defense if he consumes all stacks, or what? I'm not positive, but either way, it is a very strong move. So let's go back to his ultimate. On first initial look, this is a great ultimate, and it is, but the stun is not what it's all cracked up to be. So it deals 70% damage 18 times to one enemy, lasts 4.5 seconds, so it's not a full-on burst like Hot Suit. Hot Suit lasts like 2 seconds. So his does last almost 5 seconds, so that is some time. But it deals that 70% damage 18 times. And instead of trying to do the math in my head, so 70% 18 times is 1,260% damage. That is huge. This goes up to 100%, 1,800% damage. And it goes down to a 700 cost. That is dirt cheap. That is 50 less than Arrogance's ult. Arrogance is ulting all the time. If you have him, you know that. He's just always ulting. He is going to have his ult ready so fast. And his ult range is this. So that would make him... He's definitely not for AoE content, but he can hit multiple places. So this is a huge ult range, but this is also the range that he could summon his clones in. So keep that in mind. So this and inflicts stun here. This is a 0.1 second stun. In theory, this is great. You're like, great, this will take care of the stun phase of Guild Boss 2. No, it doesn't. Because this attacks so fast, there's apparently, according to war guides, I don't have any confirmation on this because, you know, I'm not that deep in testing. I don't have the time like that. But apparently there is a built-in cooldown on the amount of times that you can stun the boss, and it is 1 per second. So, and I think I've realized this with Jira, because I used Jira and Elysia in Guild Boss 2 in my Apocalypse 1 run, and I did notice the boss could have like 4 or 3 stacks of what do you call it, radiant erosion, and she one consumes one every time she attacks, and it's like, okay, why is this going down so slow? So this makes sense. Unfortunately, what this means for him is during this attack, he's only going to get like 1, maybe 2 stuns off. So if they remove that cooldown, he would be solo stunner for Apocalypse 2 or Samura just all day long. Unfortunately, because that cooldown is there, he cannot be a solo stunner at A0. We will go over when he can. I believe it's A3. We'll get there when we get to the Awakenings. But this, either way, is an amazing attack. So definitely worth going for this. So let's get into a little bit more on him. His block is 2, cost 15. That's great for a fighter. Most fighters are more expensive. I think Twyla on first deployment is 11, but after that I think she's 17. Sorry about that. Redeployment time is 60 seconds, average. That's normal. So max level, he's got 28k HP. Very good. He is very tanky. He's got 2136 defense. I don't remember how that stacks up to other people, and I don't feel like pulling up Fastidious' site right now. But you can compare his general stats on Fastidious' site. He's got some areas for that. Magic resistance atrocious, but who cares on that? We expect that. 2.6 second interval on attacking. The rest of it is pretty much normal. 10 plus 1 on rage regen, auto or basic attack, 13 auto, and when he's attacked he gains 5. So great. He's got good stats. So let's look at his awakenings. His awakenings are A1, the first time splitting hairs is triggered, his ultimate. Each battle, so this is only the first time, you're getting 1 bonus from this, period. Each battle, or the first time that his splitting hairs is activated, allies within 2 tiles gain monkey business. What this does is prevents death 1 time when the carrier takes fatal damage, and dispels all debuffs on them. and restores 50% of their max HP. This would be great if it wasn't just one time, which I don't think it ever goes up from there. It is only ever one time. If he had some way of providing this periodically, he would be an just all use unit. Dispelling units that literally just gets their poisons off. Unless what this does is removes stuff like inspiration, in which case, bad. But one way to find that out, test them. I don't have access to the test server, so I can't test them till I get them. And spoiler, I'm going to be waiting till Friday, I believe, to summon, maybe Saturday, because I am waiting for Ares so I could do the banner swapping. So, anyways, back to this. This solid awakening, great for him, but only a single use. So, if that's not what you're looking for, don't pull for dupes of him. I am pulling for dupes of him, but not necessarily for A1. I have 2 soul stones, so I can, if I get him A1, I can push him to A3. A3 is where he really starts taking off. First of all, before we get there, Awakening 2, that is just 300 attack. Solid, more damage. That's what he needs. Awakened 3. Now his Sage Clone has a 25% chance to inflict stun. This is where he really shines. Now there's 4 units on the field, all with a 25% chance to stun every attack. 4 units, plus Torador if you're running him in Nightmare comp and you have Torador. So Torador's also. This is where he starts to really push out the stuns. So the Sage Clones, great. If the enemy is immune to stun when triggered, instead deals an extra 150% damage one time. If the hero has Golden Glare, he will also gain 1 stack of Sunder. Great. So, I believe what this does is this allows his clones to give him Sunder. I don't think the clones can get Sunder, but yeah. So this is where he really starts to take off. And for Guild Boss 1, this is where he really starts to do a bunch of extra damage. I mean, solid. So Awakened 4, penetration 8%. Cool. Nothing over the top here. I mean, I imagine he's not going to need a whole lot of penetration, but it is good for him still. So there's that. And then Awakened 5. From what I understand, at Awakened 5, he has the ability to outdamage Kigiri at Awaken 5. And after we read this, I'll show you why that's so baffling. So, increases damage instance of Splitting Hairs by 18 and raises Undaunting's Might stack cap by 25. After using Splitting Hairs Golden Crudgel Strike, the Golden Crudgel Strike chance is increased by 35% for 12 seconds. So Undaunting Might is the increased. So this now stacks up to 30% extra damage to elites and bosses. Great for Guild Boss 1 and Guild Boss 2, because that's all he's doing there. Splitting Hairs increases the damage instance by 18. So this now literally doubles in damage. So that 1800% damage literally times 2, 3600% damage. Just straight up doubles the damage. That is amazing. And then we also, after Golden Crudgel Strike, or after he uses his ultimate, Golden Crudgel Strike's trigger chance increases by 35%. Now, let's look at Golden Crudgel Strike. Has a 25% chance. We increase that by 35%. Now it is at a 60% chance. So after he does his ultimate, he has a 60% chance to do stun. And if they can't be stunned, he does a ton of extra damage. This is where he really takes off. So This is why he has the ability to outdamage Kagiri at A5. Now, the reason that this is baffling at how much damage he could do is I'm sure I could find an example by just going in here, world rankings. Oh look, Kagiri, A3 on here. Look at that. He's doing 1.74 million damage. Let's see, A3 Kagiri, 1.3 million damage. Outdamaging Hex by double. Outdamaging Twyla by almost double. Here, he outdamages A1 Praetus by almost double. Kagiri, A5 here, 1.5. Literally double anybody else on the team. Kagiri, A0. He's still pushing out 400,000, just under Arrogance. Arrogance, who is A5. He is under Twyla by about half of Twyla's damage at A1. I mean, Kagiri is insane how much damage he can push out. And Sun Wukong has the ability to outdamage him. That is ridiculous. He is going to be extremely powerful, and he's going to be in pretty much all of the top teams. So, everybody should get him. Just plain and simple. It's 200 summons. I hope you've been saving. I have been. But it's 200 summons. They're going to be giving out a lot of summons during his event. He goes until the end of the year, the 31st. If you can, get him. Period. Now we'll talk about Ares, because this video... Actually, you know what? I'm going to release another video on Ares. We'll come back to that. This video has gone on 22 minutes. I didn't realize I was going to be talking about Wukong for that long. So I'm going to end this video here. That way you don't have to sit and listen through me babble and whatnot if you're not interested. And if you are interested, just click on the next video. It'll be up right after this. I'm going to release them at about the same time, so it's going to start out the same way. But that will do it for Sun Wukong. Let me know if you're summoning. I am definitely going to be summoning. I will be summoning on Saturday. We are summoning on Saturday, and I will do my summons, upload them. Maybe I'll live stream them. I don't know. We'll play that by ear. Let me know if you want me to live stream them. They'll make it into a video either way. So if you don't want to watch the live stream, they will be in a video. But that'll do it for this video. If you made it this far and you got anything out of it, definitely let me know below. If you liked it, definitely like it. If you want to see more from me, I'd appreciate you subscribing. It does help me out. Also boosts confidence a little bit, you know, those little things. And if you are still here and you are listening to this on Christmas or watching this on Christmas, Merry Christmas if you celebrate again. And I hope you had a good one. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.